Transparency Treasures. It's Angel, and look who I have back with me today, Myrna. She's gonna give us an update on Ukraine and a little summary of what she's going to be talking about. But before she does that, I do want to highlight our last session. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for leading the charge on why it's important that we vote, specifically knowing who our judges are, and her son who was murdered because the judge let this man out of jail when he should have been locked up because he had so many other priors. As godly citizens, it is our duty, our right, and our privilege to vote. I so appreciate Cynthia's message in encouraging us to know the judges. Get educated, find out who these people are, and vote on your conscience. And now, Myrna, would you give us a quick update on Ukraine?
My husband, Don, is Ukrainian. He speaks fluent Ukrainian. All his relatives are there, and so he is able to speak Ukrainian with them. Just to give you a recap, when Putin came into power, he said, I want to start again the Soviet Empire. This is part of it. If y'all are watching the news, you know a lot of bad things. I think a lot of people don't hear the miracles. Just one example of the many miracles is a leader, probably the army, high ranking, and he was a Christian. So they were fighting in a trench and they knew the Russians were coming. But at that moment, they didn't know the direction. This man who was the leader, who was a strong believer, felt in his heart, God said, start praying. So he was praying, God, which direction are they coming from? God spoke to his heart very clearly and very loudly, get out of that trench right this second. So they got out, and as soon as they got out, their trench was bombed and completely destroyed. But the really beautiful thing is his men knew it was God, and he led them in prayer of salvation. So many people are giving their heart to the Lord. I believe there's just going to be a return to God, and there's such unity. We know only God can do it because the culture of Ukrainians is negativity. But my husband and I have been talking to all his relatives, and I have never heard so many positive things. I thought they would say, oh, we're going to be destroyed. But no, all of them are saying we are going to win. Only God could give them a sense of unity and being positive about it. My husband just talked to one of our relatives, and this one's a strong man of God, but he said that the unity and the spirit of the people to fight and win is so strong that many men are bribing the army officials to let them be on the front line. It's horrible what is going on, but we are encouraged of what God is doing.
Just when we think that something is impossible, God makes it possible. The miracle of all of the Jews being taken out of Ukraine and back to their homeland, a fulfillment
Yes.
of prophecy. So thank you for that update. Thank you for giving us the positive side of what's going on and how God is taking a very impossible situation and making things possible that may not have been possible until now. And this is a great lead-in to March 24th. So just take it from here, Myrna.
I am giving this title of what I'm going to share. The tomb is empty, so anything is possible. So I'm going to share our true story about our missionary experience in South Africa. I really believe that it's that verse about the testimony of Christ is the spirit of prophecy and revelation. I really believe that that is what's going to happen. When you see how we trusted God and how God himself did everything, then I think that will encourage you to say yes to whatever God's putting on your heart. When we went there, we had no support pledged to us, no money ourselves, no resources. We had no training in missions. We didn't know what we were going to do. We were scared. We needed a 3-year visa to live there, and that looked impossible. The only thing we did right was we said yes, and we took that first step. Since we've been there 107 7,000 food parcels were given to orphans and destitute, clothes over 13,000, and Bibles over 4,000. We have a farm that feeds hundreds of orphans and widows, and we have daycare. But it was only because we said yes. I'm going to share the incredible miracles that God did when we trusted Him and not look at resources or training. I just think it will encourage you. Whatever God says, you just say yes, and you're going to see God work unbelievable things. So I'm going to tell you a true story, and I think it'll blow your mind because it blows my mind.
I recently heard someone say, God's not looking for your resume. He's looking for your yes. He can do a lot with your yes. Remember when God told Abraham to go? He didn't know exactly where he was going. He just was told to go. Sometimes He'll give you the specifics, but sometimes when it doesn't, it's because I think if we knew where we were going,
yes,
leave Him out of the process. The journey there is
yes,
filled with so much growth, so much intimacy with the Lord. It is where we learn to trust God, is in the journey.
Yes, absolutely.
If we knew it, we'd miss all of that. Even if we knew where we were supposed to go, we'd probably mess it up getting there anyway. When we don't know in our heads exactly where that end point is, it's because God is trying to teach us some things along the way in this intimate relationship with Him. So I'm looking forward to hearing this story. And I know it's going to encourage each one of you. Please plan to be there on March 24th at 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you then.
Yes.